Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14. So which section are we reading? Krishna is giving, we going back. Is giving Jnanam Shabhijnanam Idam. Gyan with Vigyan and Asheshat completely. And but by knowing that there's nothing to be known, nothing to remain to know. How to understand that? Matta Paratar Nannat Kinchit is like threads the parts. How to understand? Taste of water, smell of earth, light of sun and moon, sound, the ether. But though Krishna is so simple, why people cannot understand? Trivir guna moi bhavoi. Did you cover three modes they cannot understand. Why? Because that covering is Krishna's energy. Krishna is my energy. It is my energy, how people can overcome. And those who cannot overcome, there are four types of people. They are called dushkritina. They are not less intelligent, but their intelligence is used in bad activities. Dushkriti. Kriti means activity. So namam dushkritina mudaha pravadante naradhama maya apurito jnana ashram bhava masrita. No, not mam unto me. Dushkritinaha, miscreants, mura, foolish, prabodhante, surrender, noro adhama, lowest among mankind. Mayaya, by the illusory energy. Oporito jnana, whose knowledge has stolen. Ashram, demonic, bhavamasrita, accepting the nature of demon. Four types. Radham, Mayavrita Jnana. First one is Mura. Mayavrita Jnana, Ashu, Naradham. Four types. Prabhupada has explained all these four details with example. Translation. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. Purpose. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that simply by surrendering oneself unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality, Krishna, one can surmount the stringent laws of material nature. At this point, a question arises. How is it that educated philosophers, scientists, businessmen, administrators, and all the leaders of the ordinary man do not surrender to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, the all-powerful personality of Godhead? Mukti or liberation from the laws of material nature is sought by the leaders of mankind in different ways and with great plans and perseverance. I'm reading again. With great plans and perseverance for a great many years and births. But if that liberation is possible by simply surrendering unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Then why do not these intelligent and hardworking leaders adopt this simple method? Nice question. The Gita answers this question very frankly. Those really learned leaders of society, like Brahma, Shiva, Kapil, the Kumaras, Manu, Dasha, Devala, Oshita, Janaka, Prahlada, Voli, 12 Mahajans, and later on Madhyacharya, Ramanujacharya, Sri Chaitanya, and many others, who are faithful philosophers, politicians, educators, scientists, etc., surrender to the lotus feet of the Supreme Person, the all-powerful authority. Those who are not actually philosophers, scientists, educators, administrators, etc., but who pose themselves as such for material gain, do not accept the plan or path of the Supreme Lord. That means Prabhupada is telling the so-called scholars are not scholars. They have no idea of God. They simply manufacture their own worldly plans and consequently complicate the problems of material existence in their vain attempts to solve them. Because material energy is so powerful, it can resist the unauthorized plans of the atheists and baffle the knowledge of planning commissions. The atheistic plan makers are described herein by the word dushkritinaha or miscreants. Kriti means one who has performed meritorious work. The atheist plan maker is sometimes very intelligent and meritorious also, because any gigantic plan, good or bad, must take intelligence to execute. But because the atheist's brain is improperly utilized in opposing the plan of the Supreme Lord, the atheistic plan maker is called Dushkriti, which indicates that his intelligence and efforts are misdirected. In the Gita, it is clearly mentioned that material energy works fully under the direction of the Supreme Lord. It has no independent authority. It works as the shadow moves. It works as the shadow moves in accordance with the movements of the object. But still, material energy is very powerful. And the atheist, due to his godless temperament, cannot know how it works. And nor can he know the plan of the Supreme Lord. Under illusion and the modes of passion and ignorance, all these plans are baffled, as in the case of Hiranyakashipu and Ravan, whose plans were smashed to dust. Although they are both materially learned as scientists, philosophers, administrators, and educators. These dushkitanas or miscreants are of 4 different patterns as outlined below. Prabhupada explaining all these 4 separately. First one, Mura. The Muras are those who are grossly foolish, like hard-working beasts of burden. They want to enjoy the fruits of their labor by themselves and so do not want to part with them for the Supreme. A typical example of the beast of burden is the ass, Gadha. This humble beast is made to work very hard by his master. The ass does not really know for whom he works so hard day and night. He remains satisfied by filling his stomach with a bundle of grass, sleeping for a while under fear of being beaten by his master, and satisfying his sex appetite at the risk of being repeatedly kicked by the opposite party. The ass sings poetry and philosophy sometimes. The ass sings poetry and philosophy sometimes, but this braying sound only disturbs others. This is position of the foolish purity worker who does not know for whom he should work. He does not know that karma is meant for yajna. Jagarthat karma. Most often, those who work very hard day and night to clear the burden of self-created duties say that they have no time to hear of the immortality of the living being. To such mudas, material gains which are destructible are lives all in all, despite the fact that the mudas enjoy only a very small fraction of the fruit of labor. I'm reading this sentence again. To such mudas, material gains which are destructible are lives all in all, despite the fact that the mudas enjoy only a very small fraction of the fruit of labor. Sometimes they spend sleepless days and nights for fruitive gain, and although they may have ulcers or indigestion, they are satisfied with practically no food. They are simply absorbed in working hard day and night for the benefit of illusory masters. Ignorant of their real master, the foolish workers waste their valuable time serving mammon. Unfortunately, they never surrender to the Supreme Master of all masters, nor do they take time to hear of him from the proper sources. The swine who eat the night soil do not care to accept sweetmeats made of sugar and ghee. Similarly, the foolish worker will untiringly continue to hear of the sense-enjoyable tidings of the flickering mundane world, but will have very little time to hear about eternal living force that moves the material world. Whole day and night they are reading newspaper, TV news, no time for reading Bhagavad. They are mudas. Yes. Second one, Dushkritana is Naradhama. Second, another class of Dushkriti or miscreant is called the Naradhama, or the lowest of mankind. Nara means human being and Adhama means the lowest. Out of 8.4 million species of different living beings, there are 400,000 human species. Out of this, there are numerous lower forms of human life that are mostly uncivilized. Among the 400,000, maximum is uncivilized. The civilized human beings are those who have regulated principles of social, political, and religious life, dharma, rajniti, samajik. Those who are socially and politically developed, but who have no religious principles, must be considered naradhanas. Socially and politically developed, but have no religious principle. They are naradhanas. Nor is religion without God realization, because the purpose of following religious principles is to know the supreme truth and man's relation with him. In Gita, the personality of Godhead clearly states that there is no authority above him and that he is the supreme truth. The civilized form of human life is meant for man's reviving the lost consciousness of his eternal relation with the supreme truth, the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, who is all powerful. Whoever loses the sons is classified as a Narada. We get information from the revealed scriptures that when the baby is in the mother's womb, he prays to God for deliverance and promises to worship him alone as soon as he gets out. And promises to worship him alone as soon as he gets out. To pray to God when he is in difficulty is a natural instinct in every living being because he is eternally related with God. But after his deliverance, the child forgets the difficulties of birth and forgets his deliverer also, being influenced by Maya, the illusive energy. It is the duty of the guardians of children to revive the divine consciousness dormant in them. Shupta Pratibha, dormant, apart. The 10 processes of reformatory ceremonies, sanskar, as enjoyed in the Manusmriti, which is guide to religious principles, are meant for reviving God consciousness in this system of varnashram. However, no process is strictly followed now in any part of the world, and therefore 99.9% of the population is Naradham. When the whole population becomes Naradham, naturally, all their so-called education is made null and void by the all-powerful energy of physical nature. According to the standard of the Gita, a learned man is he who sees on equal terms the learned Brahmana, the dog, the cow, the elephant, and the dog cat. 5th chapter, text 18. That is the vision of a true devotee. Sri Nityananda Prabhu, who is the incarnation of Godhead as the Divine Master, delivered the typical Naradhamas, the brothers Jogai and Madhav, and showed how the mercy of a real devotee is bestowed upon the lowest of mankind. So the Naradam, who is condemned by the personality of Godhead, can again revive his spiritual consciousness only by the mercy of a devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in propagating the Bhagavad Dharma or activities of the devotees, has recommended that people submissively hear the message of the personality of God. The essence of this message is Bhagavad Gita. The lowest among human beings can be delivered by his submissive hearing process only. But unfortunately, they have even refused to give an oral reception to these messages. What to speak of surrendering to the will of the Supreme Lord? Naradamas, or the lowest of the mankind, willfully neglect the prime duty of the human being. Third one is Mayaya Avrito Jnana. Third, the next class of district is called Mayaya Aporito Jnana, or those persons whose erudite knowledge has been nullified by the influence of illusory material energy. They are mostly very learned followers, learned fellows, great philosophers, poets, literate, scientists, etc. But the illusory energy misguides them, and therefore they disobey the Supreme Law. There are a great number of Maya Avrita Jnana at the present moment. Even amongst the scholars of the Bhagavad Gita, in the Gita, in plain and simple language, it is stated that Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is none equal to or greater than him. Ashama Urdhva. He is mentioned as the father of Brahma, the original father of all human beings. In fact, Sri Krishna is said to be not only the father of Brahma, but also the father of all species of life. He is the root of the impersonal Brahma and Paramatma. Brahmanahi Pratishtaham, the super soul in every entity is his plenary portion. He is the fountainhead of everything, and everyone is advised to surrender unto his lotus feet. Despite all these clear statements, the Maya Avrita Jnana derived the personality of Supreme Lord and considered him merely another human being. They do not know that the blessed form of human life is designed after the eternal and transcendental feature of the Supreme Lord. All the unauthorized interpreters, all the unauthorized interpretations of the Bhagavad Gita by the class of Maya Avrita Jnana outside the purview of the Parampara system are so many stumbling blocks on the path of spiritual understanding. The deluded interpreters do not surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, nor do they teach others to follow this principle. Last one, fourth one, is Asura. Fourth. The last class of Dushkriti is called Ashuram Bhavam Asrita, or those of demonic principles. This class is openly atheistic. Some of them argue that the Supreme Lord can never descend upon this material world, but they're unable to give any tangible reason as to why not. They said, Lord cannot come. If Lord cannot, what type of Lord is He? Lord cannot come. If He cannot do something, that how is Lord? The rascals cannot give the answer. There are others who make Him subordinate to this impersonal feature. Somebody does accept Krishna is under impersonal energy, impersonal feature. They say, they think impersonal Brahma is the highest, and from him Krishna has come. Although the opposite is declared in the Gita, though they're claiming just opposite of the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna said, Brahmane Pudishta, impersonal rests on me. This rascal explained, Krishna is the product of Brahma. Envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the atheist will present a number of illicit incarnations manufactured in the factory of his brain. Such persons, whose very principle of life is to decree the personality of Godhead, cannot surrender under the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Sri Jamunacharya Alvandaru of South India said, O my Lord, you are unknowable to persons involved with atheistic principles, despite your uncommon qualities, features, and activities, despite your personalities being confirmed by all the revealed scriptures in the quality of goodness, and despite your being acknowledged by the famous authorities, renowned for their depth of knowledge in the transcendental science and situated in the godly qualities. Therefore, conclusion of these four miscreants. Therefore, number one, grossly foolish person, Mura. Second, the lowest of the mankind, Naradham. Third, the deluded speculators, Mayaya Aparita Jnana. Fourth, the professed atheist, Ashuram Bhavamachita. As above mentioned, never surrender unto the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, in spite of all scriptural and authoritative advice. And next verse is, there are four types here, miscreants, and 16th verse, four types of fortunate. Opposite miscreants, creants, Shukritina. Kriti means what? Miscreants, that is. And Dushkritina and Shukritina. Kriti work, negative is Dushkritina, positive is Shukritina. So four types Dushkritina and four types Shukritina. What are they? Artho, Jigashu, Arthati, and Geni. And after that, Krishna will explain, out of the four, Geni is better. And out of the Geni, they take long time to understand Krishna is the Supreme Personal Godhead. So what about other? But if we accept the teachings of pure devotee, then we have not to go through all the troubles. Try to find out a pure devotee of Lord and surrender unto him. You will be free from all the type of difficulties. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dhanvat pranams to you. Maharaj, the second type of Dushkritas, Naradhama, those who are socially and politically developed but who have no religious principles must be considered Naradamas. So, Maharaj, can you give some example?
Prabhupada said
Also,
politicians.
politicians. Yes. Mm.
Looks like they are very intelligent. But what is the use of intelligence? If you do not believe the existence of the Lord, you want that everybody should follow you, and I will not follow even God. What is the rascal? You want, as a politician, want to give shelter to other, but he says, I don't need any shelter.
Mm.
Then Narad.
Maharaj, even social workers?
Yeah, same kind of.
Mm.
Yeah, actually, you cannot say this is a clear line of demarcation. It's combined. All. Are they not Mura? They are also Mura. It is not that this person is, yes, some more and some less. Actually, all are Muras. It is not the other three are intelligent, not Muras. All are Muras.
Mm.
And when they are not accepting Lord, then they are Asuras. But here example given this with maximum propensity showing.
Mm. So, Maharaj means a person has all four. He's considered to be in all four categories. If he's an atheist, then means he's a Mura.
Like
He's a
Sattva, Raja, Tamagun, who has more Sattvagun, he is a Sattvagun person. In fact, he has Raja, Tamagun also. Tamagun person, some Sattva and Rajagun is there. But we will call it in India. Apart from BJP, so many other parties also there. But maximum seat BJP, that is BJP government.
yes. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita as it is. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada. Go.